Hello, the purpose of this short presentation is to discuss the world trends in the use of school computers for group work and communication with other students. What I'm trying to find out is what is the trend in the use of school computers for group work and communications with other students from 2009 to 2012. I want to find out if that trend is significant and why has this trend evolved. The data that I used was from the PISA 2009 and 2012 student questionnaires. They had two questions that were identical with the exception of the answer options. This is the 2009, and you notice they have four option choices. And in 2012, they had five. And so what I did was transform this every day. I changed five responses in the 2012 results to a 4 so that we would be comparing apples to apples. So what we're looking at here is student responses to how often do you use a computer for group work and communication with other students. The tests that I used, first I gathered some descriptive statistics to determine if the shapes or the frequency were similar, and also I wanted to see what the group means were. That would help me in determining what statistical test to use. Turns out the sign test was the best choice because the data is ordinal. They are related samples, and as you'll see shortly, the distributions are very similar in shape. So here's what I found when I ran the descriptive statistics. On the left is a chart that shows distribution of responses on the use of computers in 2009. You'll notice that slightly under 50% said that they never or hardly ever used computers for collaboration or to communicate with other students. In 2012, that number grew to close to 53%. One interesting item to note is that the means were the same, 1.78. When you look at the distribution, they look very similar. The trend that we're seeing is a decrease in the middle choices, once or twice a month or once or twice a week. Those decreased, and we saw an increase on the edges, on never or hardly ever or almost every day. When I ran the stats, the z-score was a negative 76, which showed a significant difference. So there was a significant difference in the distributions. So what I'm trying to look at is why. Let's look at the change. The change, the loss was in the middle. There was a significant decrease in students reporting using computers once or twice a month, monthly, or once or twice a week. So weekly, monthly, and weekly. The move was primarily to hardly ever or ever. About a ratio of 3 to 1 went to hardly ever or almost every day. So we saw an increase in using it more often or not using it at all. So what we saw was that there was a significant change in distribution. The mean remained unchanged. The average was the same. There was a decrease in monthly and weekly, and there was an increase in hardly ever or almost daily. Not an equal increase. Hardly ever increased about 3 times as much when you look at just numbers of responses as almost daily. So the question I'd like for you to help me with is why has this distribution changed? So if you could click on the link and in your opinion explain or tell me why you think there's been a decrease in students reporting the use of computers for collaboration once or twice a month or once or twice a week, so monthly or weekly. And you could also discuss why has there been an increase in students reporting using computers hardly ever or almost every day. Thanks.